What if I told you that early humans didn't actually die at 30, and that the most repeated fact about human history is also one of the most misunderstood statistics ever? Because here's the twist. People did live past 30. Many lived to 50, 60, even 70. So why does everyone believe ancient humans just dropped dead at 30? This isn't just a history myth. It's a math illusion, and once you see it, you'll never unsee it. And trust me, the truth is way more interesting than the myth. Let's clear this up immediately. When people say the average lifespan was 30 years, they don't mean everyone died at 30. They mean average life expectancy at birth. And that single phrase changes everything. Imagine a village of just 10 people. Now, let's say 5 babies die before they reach the age of 5. The other 5 people live all the way to age 60. What's the average lifespan of that village? It's about 32 years. Did anyone actually die at 32? No. This is the core misunderstanding that fooled millions of people, including what's written in many textbooks. Here's the brutal truth of ancient life. Infant mortality was insanely high. In some prehistoric societies, as many as 30 to 50% of all children died before they reached age 5. Many didn't even survive their first year. Think about it. No modern medicine, no antibiotics, no access to consistently clean water, no vaccines. One bad infection, one deep cut, or one persistent fever, and that could be it. These incredibly high numbers of early deaths completely crushed the average lifespan statistic, pulling it way, way down. But if you survived childhood, your odds improved dramatically. Anthropologists found something absolutely fascinating. Once ancient humans reached the age of 15, their expected lifespan jumped massively. In many hunter-gatherer societies, if you reached 15, you were then expected to live to be 50 or 60. If you made it to 30, you often lived well into what we'd consider old age. So, ancient life wasn't necessarily short. It was fragile in the beginning and surprisingly durable later on. Think of it like a video game. The tutorial level is absolutely brutal, but once you pass it, you're in the main game. Now let's talk fuel. What did they actually eat? Early humans didn't eat junk food. They didn't eat sugar bombs or processed garbage. Their diet consisted of lean wild meat, fish, roots and tubers, fruits, nuts, and seeds. It was high in protein, high in micronutrients, and low in inflammation. Their diet was basically a modern elite athlete's diet, just without the protein shakes. Calories were hard-earned, not overconsumed. As a result, conditions like obesity were almost non-existent. They were tuned for performance because their survival depended on it. So, were they physically stronger than us? The short answer is yes, in many important ways. Studies of ancient skeletons show they had thicker bones, stronger joints, and more muscle relative to their body size. Their daily life was a constant workout. They were walking for miles, climbing, carrying heavy loads, and hunting. No gyms needed. Their bodies adapted to a life of constant movement, a resilience that most modern humans have lost in our sedentary world. But what about their brains? This is where it gets really interesting. Their brain size was roughly the same as ours, but how they used their brains was completely different. They relied heavily on skills like spatial memory, environmental awareness, and incredible pattern recognition. They were tracking animals, reading the weather, and solving life-or-death survival problems in real time. Their brains were optimized for danger and decision-making in the physical world. Ours? They're optimized for screens, abstract symbols, and multitasking. It's the same hardware, just running entirely different software. And how did they sleep? There were no alarm clocks, no blue light from screens, and definitely no scrolling social media at 2 in the morning. They slept with the sun. Their sleep often occurred in shorter, segmented cycles. It might have been a lighter sleep, but it was far more aligned with their natural circadian rhythms. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer groups that still exist today show they experience less insomnia and have more consistent sleep patterns. Their sleep wasn't perfect, but it was biologically synchronized. So if they were so robust, why did they still die young compared to us? Here's the other side of the coin. Ancient life was incredibly dangerous. You had infections, injuries from accidents, animal attacks, and warfare. A broken leg could be a death sentence. A small wound could turn fatal without antibiotics. There were no hospitals, no painkillers, and no surgery. So yes, death was always close. But again, that doesn't mean everyone died young. It just means that risk was everywhere all the time. Archaeologists have analyzed thousands of ancient remains, and the data tells a clear story. They found many individuals who lived well into their 50s and 60s, and some even reached their 70s or older. Elderly individuals existed and were often cared for by their communities. That last part is crucial. It shows that communities supported their elders, wisdom and experience mattered. Old age wasn't an anomaly. It was just less common than it is today, and this brings us to a huge paradox. Modern humans live longer, but are we healthier for longer? We've virtually eliminated early death from things like infection and childbirth. But in its place, we've introduced a whole new set of problems: chronic diseases, obesity, sedentary lifestyles, and mental burnout. Ancient humans risked dying early. Modern humans risk dying slowly. It's a different set of problems for the very same species. So here's the truth that most people miss. Early humans didn't just die at 30. They lived high-risk, high-performance lives. If they managed to survive the dangers of childhood, they often lived long, strong, and physically capable lives. That number, 30, isn't a death sentence. It's a statistical illusion created by the tragic reality of infant mortality. And once you understand that, the story of human history suddenly makes a lot more sense. Early humans weren't weak, they weren't fragile, and they weren't doomed to die young. They were adapted, resilient, and built for survival. And the biggest myth about them was created by misunderstanding a single number. If this surprised you, add your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to See Next for more science that challenges what you think you know.